The lightweight division is so fun. Back in England we had Paddy Pimblett. I personally would love to see that fight. He's similar to you in that he's a polarising figure. Love him or hate him, he brings it.
He's a good kid, Paddy. The Scousers, you gotta love the Scousers. You know, my father was born in Liverpool. One side of my family is from there. So I got a lot of love for that part of the world. And who knows, I will never say no to nothing. You know what I mean? Never say never, as they say.
Paddy has recently been very successful in making waves, and his most recent stunt features none other than Conor McGregor. Let's look into how it's been going recently. Paddy accused Jake Paul of rigging his fights, but he was careful to give credit to the boxer where credit was due. Paddy said, "I'll give Jake Paul a shot now that he's training so much that he probably could beat up professional boxers." Jake Paul is a professional boxer. He's in possession of unrestricted financial resources and is free from any additional obligations. He does not need to go to work because all he needs to do is box. He has access to the top trainers in the industry, as well as the best nutritionists and other professionals. Actually, Jake Paul has improved quite a little recently, despite the fact that I believe that his bouts are fixed.
I saw the other day, you and Conor had a little tweet back and forth.
Yeah.
How much you were able to reveal about what you guys were talking about, but what exactly were you guys?
Well, when he was in Liverpool back in 2017, he was supposedly outside my house. I don't know if he was outside wanting me to come and party with them or looking to fight, but he was meant to be outside my house in the middle of the night, but he must have been at the wrong house, lad, because my mum has CCTV, lad. Obviously, if he was outside my house, that was getting videoed and put all over my Instagram. McGregor was looking for the baddie, you know who the boy is, you know what I mean?
Naturally, Jake felt the need to respond, and he did so by issuing Paddy a challenge to fight for $1 million. Jake stated, "I was really wanting to like you, but then you come out to claim that my fight against Anderson Silva was rigged. I'm sick and tired of this narrative." Jake is correct. You're showing a lack of respect for your own GOAT, which is detrimental to your sport. It's ridiculous for you to accuse Anderson Silva of being a criminal and a con artist when you wouldn't rig a fight yourself. Why don't we take a cheap flight to Puerto Rico? I'll get you a private jet. Boxing can be done in 5 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes. Paddy claimed that Jake made an offer for a challenge that made no sense given that he's gonna fight in Las Vegas. But Jake counter-offered a new date and location to suit him. Paddy said that Jake accepted the new date and location for the change. A member of Jake's crew told me they saw his tweet. "You've been trying to secure my participation in your podcast scheduled for January 5th. I've arranged a private jet to transport you to Puerto Rico, where both of our film crews will be working. You have 5 rounds of sparring with me, and then we can record your podcast. By that time, you should be back to your normal weight, so there's no excuse for that." Fans are giving real thought as to whether or not they would be interested in seeing Paddy fight yet another superstar. Paddy has challenged none other than Conor McGregor to a fight, and fans are seriously considering whether or not they would be interested in seeing that. Conor has discussed the possibility of Paddy being his next opponent as far back as almost a year ago.
Weight division is so fun. Back in England we had Paddy Pimblett. I personally would love to see that fight. He's similar to you in that he's a polarising figure. Love him or hate him, he brings it.
He's a good kid, Paddy. The Scousers, you gotta love the Scousers. You know, my father was born in Liverpool. One side of my family is from there. So I got a lot of love for that part of the world. And who knows, I will never say no to nothing.
It would appear that Paddy is demanding that Conor put his money where his mouth is about their disagreement. In fact, he believes that it would be a record breaker. Paddy predicted that it would be the most lucrative pay-per-view event that the UFC has ever hosted, which when presented in that manner is an obvious statement. When Conor finally makes his comeback, I anticipate that he'll compete at 170 pounds. To tell you the truth, he'll have a hard time getting back down to 155 pounds now since he's looking so huge, but I still admire Conor. You see what I mean when I say that in terms of what he has done for the sport, he has done a lot more than the majority of other people who have participated in this sport, but I believe that he has a poor reputation. As though everyone who declines to engage in combat denies him the respect that he justly deserves, I bet you Rafael dos Anjos regrets backing out of that fight all those years ago. I bet you that's the single biggest mistake he's ever made in his life. Conor's an idiot, plain and simple. It seems that Paddy's predictions about Conor coming back at 170 were well founded, and Joe Rogan even commented on Conor's improved aggressiveness.
Super jacked. Oh, USADA's gonna take a visit.
That's Conor?
Yeah.
Right now? Oh, dude, he looks like he's about to go WWF.
Yeah, he looks like a bodybuilder.
Well,
like
that's
the 70s.
It's a weird picture.
If Paddy Pimblett and Jake Paul were to face each other in a boxing sparring session, the former might try to take Paul down and then kick Paul in the head. the UFC star has been embroiled in a bitter feud with YouTube star Paul after accusing his new rival of fixing his fights, including his recent win over Anderson Silva. The problem child has regularly tried to stir up rivalries with fighters from the promotion, including Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. On this occasion, he reacted angrily to Pimblett's accusation, and he offered the Brit the chance to spar in the boxing ring for $1 million at his gym in Puerto Rico. Pimblett made a public video accepting the offer, but has now suggested that he will not entertain the session until the terms are to his liking. If I felt like it though, when I was sparring him, I'd just pick him up and drop him on his head, couldn't I? Pimblett said during the latest video on his YouTube channel. You know what I mean? If I felt like it, I could just shoot in, pick him up, drop him on his fog, and then kick him in the face on the floor if I wanted to. You know what I mean? You want to have a real fight? I've said to him, come and spar me on the 12th in the PI in Vegas. I'm there on Monday. Come and spar me, let's do it. He says, oh, I've got something I need to do. Come to Puerto Rico on the 19th or the 20th. No lad, I'm not doing it on your terms. If I fought Jake Paul, he'd have to come down to 180, maybe even 175. I fight at 155 and he fights at 195, so we can meet in the middle. That's the thing with Jake Paul. He always wants it on his terms. He'll never have it with someone on an even playing field. Pimblett is unlikely to accept any offer until the new year, with his priority currently on making final preparations for his UFC 282 appearance against Jared Gordon in Las Vegas this weekend. Paul had offered Pimblett a counteroffer by suggesting the date he has been touted to appear on the Rising Stars podcast. In his initial call-out video, Paul hit out at his rival for criticizing Anderson Silva and claimed that Pimblett will have to join his fighters union if he loses the fight. He said, I'm sick and tired of this narrative, it's stupid and pathetic. You're disrespecting your own GOAT of your own sport. You're saying that Anderson Silva is a criminal, that he's a fraud. I have a proposition for you. Since you wouldn't rig a fight, let's spar. But if I win, you have to join the United Fighters Association and help me sign up all the fighters in the UK.